Hi, and welcome back to another season of Three and Out with Chris Spielman, brought to you this year by Comerica. And Chris Spielman, I don't know if ties are like kissing your sister or whatever, but the Detroit Lions coming home with a 27-27 tie in overtime with the Arizona Cardinals in the opening, but it feels like a loss for the way the Detroit Lions dominated that game for 3 quarters and the first minute of the fourth quarter. You've been in those spots before as a player. How would you feel? What's going on in that locker room right now with the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, I've been on both ends where you dominate for 3 quarters and lose in the fourth quarter. You play horrible for 3 quarters and you win in the fourth quarter. So I understand that. Here's the thing, Mike. When you start saying that it feels like a loss, and it should, but they're lucky it wasn't a loss because Tremaine Brock should have picked that ball off with 5 seconds to go. He steps out at the 20. You got a 37-yard field goal to lose a game. So if you're starting to feel sorry for yourself or feeling like it's a loss, just be lucky it wasn't a loss. It's frustrating because it's a road game. You know how difficult it is to win on the road in the NFL. The front-loaded schedule that they have coming up, they let one get away. There's no doubt about it. And I'm sure they'll be the first ones to tell you.
All right, let me go to my notebook here. We're going to start with a good defensive play by the Detroit Lions by a player who had a very strong game, linebacker Devon Canard. It's 2nd and 10 at the Cardinals' 12-yard line. This is one of 3 sacks by Devon Canard. Break it down, Chris Spielman. Tell us what you see on this play.
Well, first of all, Devon Canard does one thing really well, and why he's such an attraction. He's versatile. You say he's a linebacker. Well, he's lined up a defensive end here. He's got a great get off on the ball, and he has a counter move. He slaps the offensive lineman with 2 hands into the chest. Then he's able to dip and rip. That means his pad level is going to get lower. Here's the slap. Right there's the slap. Now there's the rip. You see that right arm come underneath that offensive tackle's right arm, and he's able to do that, then he's able to turn the corner. Devon Canard has been a great pickup for Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia, not only because of this and giving them 3 sacks, but his ability to play on the ball and off the ball. 3 sacks is an outstanding job and a great effort by Devon Canard. I thought the D-line played pretty darn good as a whole yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Well, that was a good play by the defense. And listen, we're going to go on to the fourth quarter. Another guy who had a pretty doggone good game was TJ Hockenson, the tight end, the first-round draft pick from Iowa. A lot of people question taking him 8th overall. First pro game, 6 catches for 131 yards. And here's a touchdown catch in the first minute of the fourth quarter that gave the Lions that lead. Break it down. Tell us what you see.
The biggest thing first is pretty darn good protection right here. As Matthew has time to step up into the pocket, he does a great job, as he always does, is keeping his eyes down the field. TJ Hockenson, showing field awareness, was supposed to run a flag route, sees Matthew Stafford, adjusts to the open area, and works himself to the back of the end zone. The other thing is his size. He uses his size to his advantage against smaller defensive backs. Matthew Stafford understands he can throw the ball high, throws a beautiful pass to TJ, and he has strong, secure hands, and able to make a key play at a key time for his teammates. The protection up front is really solid right here. Frank Ragnow doing a good job of switching right there, allowing Matthew to survey the field, and with that strong arm of his, basically throwing a fadeaway strike to TJ Hockenson in the back of the end zone. Well done.
And that makes it 24-6, and it looked like the Detroit Lions were going to skate home to a win. But here's a big play coming up by a big-time playmaker, a future Hall of Famer that starts to unlock the dam. It's 3rd and 14. The Lions are in perfect position to get out of this possession here, make a stop and get the ball back. But it's a
Yeah.
41-yard catch by none other than Larry Fitzgerald. Break it down. Tell us what you see.
Yeah, I mean, 3rd and 14, right? So you got to understand that Fitzgerald's got to get down the field to be able to give themselves a chance to get the first down. I think Tracy Walker's in pretty good position right here. He's got a good job. He plays underneath the route. I think the only difference you see the safety over the top? He's got to understand. Now watch Tracy Walker's Fitzgerald's running around. If he jumps to his outside instead of his inside, he would be in better position because if he stays to the outside, he sees that he has help. Is that Will Harris? I believe Will Harris in the deep part of the field. So Will Harris can help him. So you bracket Larry Fitzgerald. One guy on the outside, one guy on the inside. I think the only place where Tracy gets in trouble is initially when Fitzgerald makes his break. Tracy jumped to the inside, should have jumped to the outside because he knows he has help in the middle of the field. But that's a great throw and a great catch. And the coverage is still pretty decent. It's just a throw where only Fitzgerald gets it or nobody gets it.
Well, good play by the rookie Kyler Murray. Now that drive ends in a field goal that makes it 24-9. But as we know, there's more to come. Finally, an exchange of field goals in overtime. The game ends in a tie. Chris Spielman, the Detroit Lions have the Los Angeles Chargers coming up. The average fan will say, how do you bounce back? Well, you tell them, how do you bounce back?
Well, I think it's not a bad thing. Look, you didn't get the loss, right? The Bears have a loss, the Packers have a win, the Vikings have a win. You didn't get the loss. You got to you're coming home. You got to protect your home field. You got the Chargers, who are very good defense. Joey Bosa is going to give whoever he plays a heck of a battle, whether it's Rick Wagner or Taylor Decker. They're going to have to play well. They're going to have to play with a sense of urgency. I think they will. I think they'll bounce back. The one thing I'd like to see, Mike, is I don't want to see Stafford throw the ball 45 times. I get it that they ran 77 plays. And I think if they can get a little bit more going on the running game and become a little bit more balanced, they're going to be that much more of an effective offense. After all, and the other thing is, when you got a team down, it's like Dracula, man. And you got them in the coffin and you got a chance to drive the stake, you got to drive the stake. They didn't drive the stake. That's simple.
Dracula. That's football at its finest. No wonder It's been around for 100 years. See you. I'll see you next.
Just like you. Just like you.
See you next week, Vlad. All right, guys, that's 3 and Out for this week. Lions and Chargers next week. We'll break it down again for you.